On the wrong side of a little bit. For Jerry Eckman in the Pennzoil Pontiac, round number 2 at Columbus could well be one of the most important races of the year. His competition was the guy that is hot on his heels in the points chase, Warren Johnson. Eckman did not have the lane choice, did not have the performance advantage enjoyed by the AC Delco Oldsmobile, but it made no difference at the finish line. Problems for WJ in the far lane. He was forced to shut it off. Eckman won.
Well, any kind of a head-to-head confrontation between Warren Johnson and Bob Glidden will have to wait till another day, unfortunately.
Yeah, we just kind of tiptoed over the wrong edge on that thing. Like I said, this track's just a little bit tricky, and we were trying to be a little cautious, and apparently we just went over the edge just a little bit.
Were you afraid of losing control of the car or what?
It started shaking violently, so I just shut her down right away because I didn't, want to have anything. The race is basically lost when it starts to shake that hard that early.
See you in Montreal.
Okay, Steve.
Warren Johnson obviously disappointed. Jerry Eckman, though, poised to move forward in the Winston standings.
Might accidentally sit on these, knock them off the shelf, step on them.
I'm sure Jerry Eckman, the driver of the Pennzoil Pontiac, would have if he could have. Eckman coming to the line with the lane choice. Both drivers taking their time about staging. As they pull forward and light the second light at the top of the tree, it indicates to starter Buster Couch that each driver is ready. Smith staging last. He's in and out first. But the whole shot, the advantage did not pay off this time. It was Jerry Eckman, 7:31 to a losing 7:33. 20 thousandths of a second was the margin of victory at the finish line. Here in instant replay, you can see that Jerry Eckman in the far lane did his job to perfection. He stayed with Ricky Smith off the starting line. Ricky only a 7/1000th of a second advantage or a whole shot, and that was certainly not enough to withstand the onslaught of performance that Eckman pulled out in the last eighth of a mile. 0.02 of a second difference between the two cars. As far as elapsed time goes, 7:31 to a 7:33. There's the margin of victory.
7:31.
31, that's probably not too bad for this conditions. We'll see who we got to race now.
At least you left with him. No one else has today.
Yeah, I know. Ricky's been really sharp in the lights, and that's his forte, and I had to be on my toes.
Oldsmobile and yourself a new record. Nobody's ever done it. Morgan and Eckman in the finals. Jerry Eckman by just thousandths as the lane choice. Now to the far end of the... One of the most critical pieces of any race car. That is the clutch on Jerry Eckman Pontiac. They're getting the car ready to meet Larry Morgan in the finals of Pro Stock Eliminator in an Oldsmobile versus Pontiac battle. I'd like to take a meantime on the starting line. We're ready for the finals in Pro Stock Eliminator, and it is a pair of Newark, Ohio residents. Larry Morgan, a native, Jerry Eckman, a California transplant. He and his partner Bill Orndorff moved the Pennzoil racing operation to the heartland of America just about a year and a half ago. The Castrol Oldsmobile of Larry Morgan gave away lane choice by only 7/1000ths of a second. On paper, this should be a very close race. Oldsmobile versus Pontiac, and Eckman has a great deal at stake here. Should he be able to pull out a victory, it would give him a commanding lead in the Winston points chase. Dale Ike, the engine builder for Jerry Eckman, looking on intently as both cars come into the staging beams. And something goes wrong for Morgan. He is forced to shut off. Jerry Eckman takes the title, the all-important points. His elapsed time, 7:29 at 189 miles an hour. While we have been talking all day long about reaction times, in this case, it was identical to the thousandths of a second. As we watch in the replay, you see Morgan in the near lane having the difficulties, forcing him to lift, and Eckman streaked ahead to the finish line and taking the victory, which moves him out in front of Warren Johnson by a substantial margin. His elapsed time very safe and conservative at a 7:29, but this was a big victory, his third of the 1992 season for Jerry Eckman. Let's go to Steve.
What a season for Jerry Eckman as he pads his Winston points lead. You win in your adopted new little hometown. Life is good.
It certainly is. You know, we had a couple of hometown boys in the final, and I'll tell you, we went into a little slump mid-season. It looks like we're back. We got a tough team here. You know, it's not just me, it's the team. We don't always run the best, but my team gets this car down these tough conditions and tough tracks, and I'm so proud to drive this Pennzoil Pontiac. We're great to be here as a winner again.
We're proud to be here with it.
Oh, I'm excited as can be, and I know my team is ecstatic.
Great job.
Thank you.
As I mentioned, that big win gives him a big lead, 1,052 points over his closest competitor, Warren Johnson. Scott Jeffrey on third. Morgan is fourth, and Don Beverly now number 5. The shot from high above gives you an idea of this huge crowd, but nobody's leaving. Nitro Finals coming up next.